Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Paul Porokku. You can on your video from your side so that I can see your face. My
Okay.
name is Paul Porokku. I'm a student of Conestoga College, Ontario, Canada, Kitchener campus.
Okay.
This morning, I want to appreciate you for your time and for the privilege to have this interview with you on organization behaviors and some parameters and OP concepts. And
Okay,
this
sir.
interview is all about your experience and what you have went through in the course of job so far. And first and foremost, I want you to tell me your name, your job title, and how long have you been working in your present organization. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. So my name is Damilola Awofolaju, Mr. And I'm the procurement and operations manager of my company. And I've been working there for 5 years and I think 5 years and 5 months now.
Well, that's about very wonderful ones. Please, what does your organization do? I want to know what your organization really specializes on and what do you do in your position in that organization?
We are basically into the procurement of goods and delivery of services like compressor repairs and equipment calibration. We also do a bit of logistics. But what I basically do, primarily I handle the procurement aspect of our operations, and I also oversee the day-to-day running of the organization. So that is why I'm being called the procurement and the operations manager.
In general, what do you like most about the organization presently, and what challenge have you experienced so far for the past 5 years that you have been with this organization? Can you give us what you like about the organization and your own personal experience so far? Hello?
What I like most about my organization is we all have a sense of shared responsibility made to Buddha in the hello, can you hear,
I'm
sir?
with you. I'm with you.
All right, sir. So we are all made to feel like we are a stakeholder, we are a part of the organization. So we all have this kind of sense of shared responsibility and ownership. But one of my challenges is actually working with people management. Let me just call it people management, but that is bound to happen. We all come from different backgrounds, and the way we see things, our perspective is different. So at least I always try to manage the situation, get everybody on the same what's it called now, on the
Rich.
same line of thought, so that we can achieve our goal. But one of the challenges I always face is basically people management.
With this experience, I think there's a common thing in all organizations. People
Mm.
management is one of the most difficult aspect of management. I
Yes,
believe you've been able to manage your people to some extent with
definitely.
this experience.
Mm.
And let's start with discussing motivation. Motivation is one of the things that really encourage people to embark on their responsibility in organization. Some people, if they are motivated, they can go any extra length in the course of their job. Can you us, tell me about a time when you felt highly motivated at work, who was involved and what happened and what factor led to these feelings?
Well, for me, I am always motivated each time I get a pay raise from my boss, because what this actually means to me is it means that people appreciate my effort, they appreciate my input. Because if my input is not appreciated, there is no way my pay can be raised. So I'm always motivated each time I get a pay raise, because it shows my effort is being acknowledged and appreciated. Though my success story is not always a lone effort, it's a contribution of both my team members and the senior management team. But I'm always motivated each time I get a pay raise. So those people they are responsible, my team members and the senior management team. I would say those are the people responsible for the way I feel and how I get appreciated.
Is I want you to be very specific about this. And I want you to be specific about a certain time when you felt highly motivated at work and who was involved and what happened and what factor led to that feelings. I want you to be specific, so time that you were motivated and this is who motivated you, this is what happened, and what was your feeling or what led to that motivation or that kind of motivation.
Well, just like I said earlier, the pay raise. The secondly, the another thing that motivates me, this happens at least probably not every time, but at least it happens once in a while. It is when I am being given a free hand to operate, just when they allow me to conceive an idea and execute it to fruition without any interference. For me, I always get motivated with that. But when you work in an organization and your idea is not welcomed, or you are not being given a free hand to do what you feel is right, or probably you are being pressured to do something else against what you feel will work better for the organization, you may not get motivated. But for me, each time I am allowed or I'm being given a free hand to put my idea, to execute my own idea and allow it to work to fruition, I get motivated. And just like I said earlier too, the pay raise is also there. The pay raise is also there.
Thank you for that. The next question, I want you to tell me about a time when you felt little or not motivated at work. When you just felt that you were not motivated, all the effort that you have put in place, they are not really motivating you, it was not encouraged. And who was involved in that kind of situation and what happened? I want you to be specific about it.
Yes.
So time this happened, you were not really motivated, and this is the person that involved, my boss, my staff, my subordinate, what factor led to that feelings? I want you to be specific that way.
Okay, so I think one particular moment or one particular time I'm trying to remember is when I think there was a time we wanted to bring in an order. We wanted to bring in an order from China, and there is this particular freight forwarding agent that we have always been using, to help with our shipments and co. Though for a while I've been having a kind of what's it called now? I've been having a setback in my spirit with working with this particular freight agent because he has always disappointed us. So we had a big project to execute at that particular, and I was telling my boss, let's try this other agent. At least let's give this other agent a trial instead of using this particular person that in the last 2 or 3 jobs we have done together that has always disappointed us, and he felt otherwise. He decided to go with this same person. I felt bad actually. I felt because my opinion and my suggestion didn't count. So I felt really bad. And at the end of the day, it did backfire. And it got to that point that I was like, if you had followed what I said, we wouldn't have found ourselves in this kind of mess. So for me, that was a demotivating, or it was a period I didn't feel motivated because my opinion didn't count, and I was not allowed to express myself fully.
That's great. Is there any time when you felt empowered at work that you just think that they've given you the power, they allow you to work at your own pace and to ship in your own idea and execute such ideas, and there was a good result? who was involved in that kind of situation, and what was the outcome at the end of the day?
Yes, actually, I think it was that moment I was given the opportunity to handle operations alongside my main job, my main core responsibility, which is procurement. There was a period my boss was not around, and I took it upon myself actually to coordinate all the activities of the company, see to the logistics aspect, see to the delivery, see to the coordinate the shipping and everything. And this worked out fine for us. Everything went seamlessly. And when my boss got back, he was surprised that I could manage the situation in his absence. And it was at that point he decided with other senior management team that okay, I think we should add this particular role to his responsibility. So that was the point I was appointed both procurement and operations manager. I'm sorry, the operations manager was added to my procurement role.
That's great. That's great. That's great. I think the next question, how does goal settings and feedback happen at your organization as a result? Do you feel confident and motivated in your work? How does goal setting and feedback happen at your organization?
Well, I would say goal setting, it happens frequently, but if I want to put a time frame to it, I would say quarterly. If I want to put a time frame to it, we set goals almost every now and then, because whenever we get feedback from our clients, we tend to set new goals, both positive and negative feedbacks. We tend to work on them and set new goals for the team. We set new goals for the team to better our productivity and to better our productivity and the way we deliver our job. So goal setting happens almost every now and then in our organization whenever we get feedback from customers.
Okay.
And for me, this has actually helped to build my own confidence and motivate me to do more, because we feel a great sense of connection to the organization. We always feel a great sense of connection to the organization whenever we set new goals for ourselves.
Okay, thank you for that. Do you have something like organizational culture and structure in your organization? Do you have a culture in your organization and structure?
Yes, we have an organizational structure. Like, I don't know if what you mean by organizational structure is a organogram, or is that it?
It's a culture, how you get it done in terms of respect when you're in the at workplace. And this is what happened by this time. Like you said, your goal setting and you do it periodically or quarterly, it has to do with culture. And culture is the way of life, where how you
Okay.
people behave in the
Definitely,
organizations.
definitely. We have
Through
we
the
have we
behavior.
have an we have an organizational culture. The leadership style, the work environment, the ability of the employer, to be committed to the employee's growth and development, and integrity and honesty is also part of our organizational culture.
Okay. And I believe you have a kind of respect for individual.
Definitely,
Okay,
mutual
so
respect and shared goals. We have all that. Empathy, emotional intelligence. It's all part of the organizational culture.
in what element of the culture makes you feel welcome? What element of your culture have make you feel happy? And anytime you look at that aspect of the organizational culture, you feel well, you are so okay with that.
For
What's
me,
that culture?
it is the peaceful work environment. When you wake up in the morning and you look forward to getting to your work every day. So for me, it is the work environment. It is the work environment that makes me feel welcome, and it is that always makes me feel, I feel motivated to go to work every day and do my job. So it is the work environment, the peaceful work environment, the peaceful work environment.
Is there any aspect of your culture or element of your culture that make you feel not appreciated at times? Maybe this is a set down culture. At times, that culture is not into your favor or is not a good one at all.
I can't say for now. I'm not sure there is any element of our culture that makes me feel not appreciated. I don't think so.
Can you tell me about your team?
Yeah, I have a great team. I belong to a team of 12 people. And my role, as said earlier, is to coordinate and harmonize the works of everybody working in the team, just to ensure we have a competitive pricing, we deliver a quality service, and we deliver at a set time, and we have a great after sales support team. So I have a good team, I have a great team, and we always work hand in hand to ensure that the goal of the company is achieved at all times. And we also we have a great dynamics between us, because there is what's it called now? There is shared responsibility, there is a shared goal, and everybody is working towards the same goal. So we synchronize very good. There is a great dynamics between us. Just to sum it up, we have a great working relationship together.
Is there any time that you have a kind of conflict within your team members? And what really happened? How did you handle such conflict within your team member?
Definitely, conflict will always happen. There is no perfect team. There is no perfect team. I think the last one I can remember is when one of the team members, or let me say a set of the team, a particular section of the team, they are not doing their job the way it should be. Probably they didn't get what's it called now? They didn't understand what they are expected to do fully. And instead of
Yes.
them coming back to to seek clarity, they decided to make do with the little piece of information they have, and that actually affected the overall productivity of the other team members. So the other team members felt disgruntled that, okay, now this section of the team is keeping us, or is dragging us backwards. So there was a sort of voice raising. There was argument and co. And as the team lead, what I simply did was try to broker peace between them, and get the team members they were lacking behind, clarify the information they were lacking, give them the proper information, and ensure everybody is on a good note. And we proceeded with whatever goal we had in
Mr.
mind.
Damola, for more clarity and to help us in this research work, I would have loved if you can be able to tell us specifically about what happened, and in as much that I'm not asking you about the name of your organization and all that, and tell me what happened specifically and what type of job do you expect them to deliver on, what are the functions they're supposed to have done by this which time, and they failed to deliver and it led to a kind of conflict. And can you be specific about that?
Okay, this section of the team, they actually work whenever our goods arrive from overseas. They work with they are like the shipping and clearing department. So they work with the government agencies. They work with the government agencies. And most of the time, the way our government agencies work, as a company, we have the way we deal with government agencies. We have our laid down what's it called now?
Policy.
Standard policy, exactly, policy. We have our laid down policy, the way we work with our government agencies. But probably because these people they felt they can do this, they can do it in their own way, and they feel their own way is the best way to go about it. They actually had good intentions, but at times your good intention may not really matter. It's all about the policy that has been laid down for you. They actually had good intention, but they didn't work with what we have in ground. They wanted to try out their own templates, which later backfired. Which later backfired.
Tell me about the hierarchy of organization. Your organization, how usually are these decision made in your organization? Are there multiple level of management to approve decision? What I mean by this is do you have any organization hierarchy in your organization, and as across approving of things, documents, job to be done, and what is the time factor? Does this management, multi-level management approval decision affect the work, the speed of the work, your turnaround time in the organization?
For me, in our organization, I work in a sole proprietorship organization, and what I mean is there is only one boss in charge, the overall boss. So decisions are easily made. We don't really have much people to in another settings. Few people we have to come together to agree on a thing before what's it called now? Probably before a paper is signed, there must be an agreement between 3, 4, 5 people. But in our own case, it's a sole proprietorship. So we have an overall boss who without who easily undo things. So we don't really have multiple levels of management to approve decisions. It's just the overall boss. Once he agrees with whatever everyone is bringing, he signs off immediately.
You have something like a memo in your organization whereby the junior staff can write a memo giving a suggestion about a particular task that we have to go from one office to another or from one personnel to another before you get to your manager, your CEO.
Yes, of course. Of course. The junior staff does not have, just like I have a couple of staff that report to me. So, and I will, whatever concerns or whatever thing they have, I will cascade it to the overall boss. And we have people in the finance and the audit departments too, who probably the members or team members, the team members in that department, whatever they have, whatever grievances or whatever complaints they have, they will pass it across to the head of finance, who will in turn take it to the overall boss.
Including yourself, approximately how many people report to your boss?
We are approximately 4 that report directly to my
Okay, you
boss.
have 4 direct report in your organization.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. I think this next session of this interview, and this is going to be the last section of this interview, I'll be asking you about the leadership and management in your organization. I want you to tell me about your management. How will you describe the behavior of your manager? Yes, I think, like you said, you are the next to the shelf to the boss. I think your boss will be like your manager now.
Yes.
And I want you to tell me about this management. How will you describe the behavior of your chairman, who is your overall boss now? What can you tell us about his behavior towards the organization growth, towards the staff, and towards to the rule and policy of the organization?
Okay, for me, the best way to describe my manager will be that he's actually a selfless person. He puts people first before the process. And I think that is what most organizations lack. He puts people first before the process, which means the employee come first before any other thing. So which for me, I see as a great quality, the ability to be able to understand your employees and to be able to read them at any point in time. He has he has empathy. He has empathy. He's emotionally intelligent. When probably whenever you are not doing something right, instead of him chastising you immediately and say, okay, punishing you for what you are not doing right, he tends to, bring you close and understand why you are not doing that thing right, or what is making you not to do that thing right. So he's an empathic person. He's a selfless person. He listens to his employees, and he'll always look for a way to reason with employees. I think that is how best I can describe our
Are
manager.
you trying to tell me that this behaviors is affecting the organization positively or negatively when it comes to the...
It is affecting the organization positively because there is no way you will put people first and you won't get the best out of them. There's
That's
no way
great.
there's no way you put people first and you won't get the best out of them.
Okay, this question, I say, how will you describe your most memorable leader in your organization? What were their quality and behaviors? How will you describe your most memorable leader in your organization? What were their quality and behavior, the quality of their behavior and their behavior?
I would say I just stated because I report directly to the overall boss, so he is probably the most memorable leader in the organization. And like I said earlier, I've stated his qualities and behavior. He's a selfless person. He considers people first. He treats us like we are a part of the company, like we are stakeholders. He doesn't treat his staff like they are employees or like they are being paid for whatever they do. He makes us feel at home. He makes us feel at home at work. So I think that those are
That's a
his.
very good quality, so that you are part of the job. You are not just seen as a worker,
Yeah.
but you're always seen as a part of the organization. Tell me about a time why creativity and innovation was encouraged at work. A time that
Yeah.
they allow people to come up with new things, creativity, how to change things. You've been doing this way or this way, and this is what we want to do in terms of branding, in terms of coming up with a new thing, modern thing that really affects your organization positively.
Okay. I think at the time I joined the company, we didn't have much online presence. We had little or nothing to do with taking our brand online. But there was this particular team member, who was creative enough to come up with this idea that okay, we can actually put our organization on the global web page, project, what's it called now? Increase our brand awareness and publicity. And he came up with a good website page for us. He did a lot of what's it called now? Sorry, he did a lot of Google search engine SEOs and all those internet jargons that made the company to gain publicity and awareness. And this in turn, gave us more customers, because a lot of people probably, when they are searching for an organization that can supply them goods and that can render them this particular part of this particular service in Nigeria, our organization name tends to pop up, and they click, they send a message, they make inquiry. So we gained more customers, we gained more clients when the creative idea and the creative idea of this particular team member was encouraged. So I think that is it.
That's great. Can you describe to me in a time when there was a poor decision made? What factor led to this issue? Is there any time that in your organization that there was a poor decisions made, and what was the factor that led to that?
Oh, poor decision made. I can't really recollect when a poor decision was made. I can't really, but there will always be lapses every now and then. We always find time, find what's it called, a way to manage these lapses. So, bro, I'm not sure there is a time when a major poor decision was made that really affected the company so bad. Though every now and then we have lapses here and there that we tend to manage. But for me, since I joined the company in the last 5 years and few months, I'm not sure there has been a major poor decision made that has really affected the company so badly. I don't think so. I can't recollect any.
I agree with you, but I want to establish this fact that we are bound to make some mistake or make some wrong decision at per time. that can affect the organizations negatively, or that can draw the organization back. Maybe you have not really taken cognizance of that aside.
Maybe.
The next question I want to ask you, can you tell me about a time when your organization was going through a change? Like when you told me that you were trying to automate some of your process from doing things done manually or in analog. How did the leaders behave or communicate the change how did you communicate the change, and what was people's behaviors during that time?
All right, sir. You know, people are always people don't want we don't want change. People don't want change. So at that particular point, I think what they did was try to communicate the idea in a clear terms, you know, show them the advantages of, okay, automating our process, show them the advantages of, you know, going from doing analog work to, you know, to digital, you know, encourage a lot of people to digitalize their work instead of, you know, doing, you know, it reduced our paperwork. Now we tend to put a whole lot of our information online where it is accessible for every team members. It wasn't easy actually, because we have some people in the team who are just what will I put who are just
The analog.
they are analog, they are technical guys, you know, their one is just, you know, lose notes. They just don't want to go through that stress of learning something new. They don't want to go through that sense of learning something. They feel they don't need it. So I think the way it was managed then was communicating the vision clearly, and, you know, telling people, okay, this is it, these are the advantages, this is what you stand to gain if this is accomplished, and, you know, encourage them along the line. Put a compensation plan in place. They actually did that. They put a compensation plan in place, you know, to encourage people to take up that challenge and you go through the change without much glitch.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Damilola Ofolaju. Thank you for your time for your response so far. And this is the last session of this interview. I want to ask about the ethics, your organization ethics. And I want you to describe a time where you felt unfairly treated at work, or observed that someone being treated unfairly, and how did you respond? What was the result?
I think for me, I'm not sure if I have been unfairly treated, but I think I have observed one or two people being treated unfairly. But not so, I won't put it like that. Probably when, you know, a lot of people, when you don't do what you are being paid to do, and you still expect to get
How about you?
hello, sir.
I can with you. I think it was
All
the
right.
network issue.
Yes, sir.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people, they don't, at times they will tend not to do what they are being paid to do and expect to get the same feedback, or the same what's it called now, the same caring, and they expect you to treat them fairly while they are not doing what they are being paid to do. So I won't say probably these particular people they were treated unfairly, but, you know, they actually got what they deserved, and they termed that as being treated unfairly. They termed that as being treated unfairly, but, you know, it was true. It was thoroughly addressed, and you know, everyone got on the same page.
Okay, so that's what you are saying, that the situation or the situation that happened in your organization that can be tagged as unfairly, it was not really unfairly situation because it has to do with your performance on
Yeah.
people fail to contribute as expected. I think that's okay.
Yes,
That's okay.
exactly.
That's okay. And during that time, what was your own personal involvement, and how did you, as the manager or the boss, how did you really came in, and were you be able to solve the matter within the top management and the affected staff?
For me, what I did then was, call the affected employee aside and let him understand that he actually the one he is the one at fault. A lot of people, you tend to blame the leaders for taking an action against you when you do the wrong thing. So I try to make him take responsibility for his action, and also try to make the senior management, reduce the level of punishment they intend to give him, like just give him what's it called now, give him another chance, to prove himself right. So I think that is how I was able to mediate, and make everybody got on the same page, make everybody get on the same page.
Okay, thank you. I think this is the last question, but not the least. Can you describe a time when you felt proud of the ethical behavior within your organization, or ashamed of lack of ethical behavior within your organization? Let me talk about ethical behavior in the
All
organization.
right,
You
sir.
know that in every other industry, there is what we call ethics. There's a way
Yes,
to
sir.
get it done in every organization. Like you said the other time, that some of the group in the organization, they were able to deliver because they failed to follow a policy, lay down policy of organization, and they were
Yes, sir.
trying to do things in their own way. I believe that is against the organization ethics or
Definitely.
industry ethics, so that in
Yes,
every
sir.
industry there's way to get things done. And at the same time, when you are talking about supply chain management, there is a lot of things to get done, way to get things done that is standard. So when you are doing things according to the standard, it means that you are following the business ethics, you are following the organization's ethic, and
Yes, sir.
your organization ethic. I'm not asking the question from this observation, that describe a time when you felt proud of ethical behavior, when in your organization you did things as they were supposed to be, and you were so proud of yourself and your organization that you are getting things done properly without without going out of the standard. And at the same time, if there's any time you just feel ashamed, we were fired, we were queried, and we were unable to meet up with some standard based on government regulatory bodies or some stakeholders in the industries.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
can you tell us that kind of a situation if there's any like that?
Yeah, there is actually any, because in our own line of work, we work with a whole lot of clients, and for the employee, some of our clients' employees, they tend to meet with us from time to time, to discuss how we can work together to siphon money from their own employer, which is our own client. I don't know if you get my point.
I understand, I understand.
So they tend to meet us to liaise with us to discuss ways on how to siphon money from their own employer, which is our own client. But almost all the time, all the time, we ignore this call. We don't give them this. We don't welcome them. Let me just say, we don't welcome them, and we always communicate all this to our own team, because you can decide as a team lead or as a senior manager that you don't take this, and your team member will go behind you to kind of strike a kind of agreement with with other people just to do this and do that. So we try as much as possible to enforce this policy and put things in place, to oversee this thing and ensure that people in our team are not going behind our back to liaise with these employees from our clients, to bargain a deal or to siphon money from our client or to do something that is against our company ethics. For me, that is something I have been always proud of in our company. That is something I've always been proud of. Integrity and honesty in all our dealings. Because at times, most of these employees, they will even come to, because we have some of them that they are the ones in charge of signing our documents in their company. So they tend to put you on the spot, like, okay, well, if you don't agree to our request or our terms, you won't be able to get job next time in our company. But at least thank God for a few of the companies that we work with also, they have their internal control team in place. And when this kind of thing happens, there is a way you can report. There's a way you can report. They call it is the anonymous reporting, or there's a way you can report without them knowing you are the one that reported, without them knowing you are the one that reported. So they have, most of the companies or our clients that we work, they have this system in place also. We also have it in place in our own company, that whenever any of our team members try to, go behind us to strike a deal with our clients, there is a way they can report them to us without us or even them knowing who reported. They just need to give us an hint through a dedicated email address. They will send the report to us without us knowing, okay, this is the person that reported this person, or this is the person that is reporting this person. So that there is what's it called now? There is that thing in place that guides against all this. So integrity and honesty has always been
There's
our
is there
own work ethic.
any ethical issues that make you to be ashamed sometimes about the organization? Maybe you guys start make a mistake and someone did it, or in terms of standards, regulations, maybe custom just find you people and they discover that it's your organizations and they issue you query, or is there anyone like that?
Yes, there is. And because, like I said earlier, we also have third-party people that work with us. We also have third-party, which they are not directly a member of our team, but they are working for us indirectly, like a
The agent.
like a contractor, on a contract agent on a contract basis. This kind of people, with the way the government agencies work in Nigeria here, there is no way hardly will you walk up to any room or whatever that they won't ask you, to they will always ask you for something, to bend the rules or to go to, just not to follow the due process. So, some of these agents, they tend to follow these people or go with they go with their biddings without our own knowledge, actually, without our own knowledge. But at the end of the day, it will still come back to us, because these agents are not permanent. We tend to change them often, because if you are not working perfectly, we look up for another agent that will work with. But when we get this new agent and he is trying to deal with this particular government agency, and they tend to tell the agent that we know this company now, this is how they have been working with us. The agents will now come back to us as, okay, this government agency said you have been bribing them, or you have been doing a sort of backdoor deals with them over the time. And we'll be surprised, like, this is against our home company policies. But it is understandable that this is being done by the third party agents that we hired. And it is one of the reasons why we change them from time to time. And because of this particular challenge, actually, we are also working on building our own team, our own permanent team, that we actually see to taking this responsibility instead of hiring a third-party agent.
Yes, I have the. Do you have anything that you want to ship in out of this contest? So we have discussed so many things so far. We have discussed about motivation, discussed about ethics. We're talking about the leadership and management of your organizations. Is there any aspect of this discussion that you think that you just want to ship in something, story, experience that you want to share with us because of this project?
Well, for me, what I would like to say is, in my organization, I've learned a whole couple of things that I can actually put into practice when and if I wish to set up my own my home place. And one of the key things one of my key takeaways in my organization is, like I said earlier, is people first. People first before your process, because if you put people first, I'm telling you, there is no way you won't get the best from them. There's no way you won't get the best from them. So just put people first, encourage them to be a better versions of themselves while doing the job you employ them to do. So I think that is one thing I would like to chip in and reiterate over and again and again, that when the leaders should learn how to put people first in their organization.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dami. You have done a wonderful job this afternoon. I really appreciate you for your contribution and for your time. And I will be happy to hear more from you next time when we have a similar interview. And I assure you that your information will be used strictly for your research work, and your name of organization is not going to be mentioned, nor your name. It's just for to support our class work and to establish some findings and some conclusion that have been made about organizational behaviors so far in the line of research. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye for now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome.